to DJ Takeover Radio, number one internet radio station for independent music artists. DJ Takeover Radio. DJ Takeover Radio, only on live365.com. Download the app today. DJ Takeover Radio, bringing you the hottest music from the past, present, and opening new doors for indie music artists, showing you guys the future. It's DJ Takeover Radio. Alright, you're rocking me, the one and only DJ J Erica, live here on DJTakeover.com. Got an artist spotlight. Of course, you know, my job is to find the hottest new talent around. And recently I stumbled across an artist. His name is Antoine, pronounced the name right. He's an R&B artist, and I want him to introduce himself to you guys. He just released his brand new EP lately, and I just want to tell you guys all about it. But first, go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, world? It's your boy Antoine from Harlem, New York City, singer-songwriter.
Feel that way tonight.
Just released an album called The Art of the Heartbreak on Valentine's Day, and it's available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, CD Baby, Bandcamp, anywhere you download your music digitally.
Before we get into this EP and that you just released, I want to know, when did you start to perform? Like, who is Barry? Like, tell the viewers, where are you from? And what made you get into music?
Well, I'm from New York City, Harlem to be exact. I was raised between, mostly my life is between Brooklyn and Harlem. And what made me start doing music? I can say I've been, I don't know, I guess you would say it's kind of in my blood. Like, I have a second cousin who's deceased now, R.I.P., but his name was Bernard Edwards. He was the bassist for one of the bass players for the 1970s disco group Chic.
Okay.
And besides that, I kind of felt like it's just always, like, music has just always been around me. Like, before I actually started singing, I was dancing.
Oh, you were dancing. What made you start dancing?
Just liking the sound of music, I guess. I remember a long time ago when my pops put me in like a dance class, but that was after the fact of just my parents seeing how much I enjoyed dancing. I just kind of did it on my own. It just became kind of a thing that I did. My grandmother would have me perform at like different parties that she was having, barbecues. I would be like the only kid in a room full of grown-ups, just the entertainment, and I would like make some money from it. Sometimes she'd be like doing street vending, and I would dance like not too far from where she was at, and I would make money like that. I just always had a love for music, and then eventually it kind of graduated into me actually like writing. And I don't know where it came from. I actually started learning how to sing by mimicking people on the radio, like Luther Vandross and Tevin Campbell. I would kind of like mimic what they would do.
Yeah.
And then I just, in a way, I kind of taught myself. Aside from like my mom like singing around the house, I would just kind of like listen. I used to watch like a lot of videos as a kid, so that's a lot of where my inspiration used to come from, as far as like singing and dancing and stuff like that. So I guess you would say just pretty much like all my life.
So when was it your first time actually performing on stage, when you said, okay, I want to try to make this a career, it's something I want to do professionally?
As far as what, dancing or just me like singing?
Becoming, the performer that you are right now. Like, when was the moment that you, like a talent show or something that made you say, okay, this is what I want to do?
I guess officially I started like really wanting to explore more of my music side as far as singing when I was 13. But I'd say when I was 17 years old in high school, and we had like there was like a Black History Club, and I actually sung "A Change Is Gonna Come" by Sam Cooke.
Yeah,
just straight up.
That's classic.
Yeah, just straight up acapella, no music behind me and nothing. And I did the whole song, and like all of the kids in the auditorium just went crazy, gave me a standing ovation and everything. I had to do it twice because the school I went to was a middle school and a high school. So we did it once for both schools, and I was like, man, if I get this type of reaction just over something like this, maybe this is something I need to be doing.
So that was the moment. That was the moment you decided to go ahead and.
That was the moment I was like, I'm kind of feeling this. I think I want to keep doing stuff like this. If I could keep getting a reaction like that, definitely.
So when did you start making your music, like, I guess professionally? Because I know a lot of artists, they do song covers of other artists, and they, put them on YouTube and everything else. When did you decide to say, okay, I'm the artist, and this is my CD that I want you guys to hear my music, like something that I produced or I wrote and stuff like that? When was your first mixtape or EP?
Well, if we go on like off the first one, I used to be in a group actually, a local group called Deuces. Me and one of my homeboys I used to go to high school with, and we had been making music for a minute. The group kind of disbanded, and I gotta admit, for a while I was kind of like, because things just didn't go right, and I was in that situation for like 6 years, and I just kind of took a break. But like I always found myself like coming up with melodies in my head and like writing and stuff like that. So I'd say maybe about a good 3 years ago when I actually developed the album that I have now is when I like really started taking myself serious and like, you know what, I'm gonna just go for it. I might as well.
And let's talk about the going back to the EP that you are kind of like promoting right now, which is The Art of Heartbreak. Okay, I listened to it from beginning to end, didn't skip any song, and you really take it back. You take it back to when it was like a full CD, and you had an introduction, and you had the intro, you had the interludes, you had the closing, and it's telling an entire story. And I have to compliment you on that, because most of the time, like what independent artists scene, they stick with mixtapes, and it's not much of a connection with their tapes. It's like one song is talking about money and cars, the other one's talking about the girlfriend, and it's just random pick. But I like how you kind of like telling a story of an entire relationship, like from beginning to end, the happiness, the breakup, and everything else. What inspired this entire project? Was this your true story, or friends, family?
This is real life, man. Like everything on the album for me, for the most part, is true. There are some things that I pull from, like different situations with my friends, or different things that I've seen, or just even different feelings that I know I've had that I can relate to with other people. And it's funny that you say I kind of brought it back. Like, I didn't really want to do a mixtape. Like, it kind of, in some ways, started out like that, but I'm like, what, if I'm going to do it, I got to do it for real. And it's like, everybody comes out with a mixtape. Like, everybody and their mama come out with a mixtape or something. So I wanted to do something different and do something that people didn't think I could do.
I don't know if you a good woman, but you sure look good to me. I don't care what you know, woman, cause I'ma show you what you need. What I want is a real woman who ain't afraid to give me borrowed time. To make it clear, woman, tonight I wanna make you mine. Oh, baby, I don't wanna love ya, I just wanna touch ya. Wrap myself around you, lose control. Last names, ain't no need to exchange. We both want the same thing. Let's just share our bodies and not. So what's the feeling? I'm trying to get up inside your inner feelings. I'm feeling freaky tonight, no inhibitions. I'm trying to get up inside your inner feelings. So show me your bad side. Give me what I want, baby. Give me what I need, darling. Give me what I want, baby. Cause I want you now, I want you now. Give me what I want. for love, cause I don't wanna fall in love. Tonight that's not my thing. Just wanna be addicted to you. Yeah, like a drug that I'm needing for, and I just can't get enough. Baby, love ya. Touch. Lose my control. Slowly, same thing, yeah. Oh, so feeling. I'm trying to get up inside your inner feeling. I'm feeling free tonight, no inhibitions. I'm trying to get up inside your inner feelings. So show me your mind side. Give me what I want, baby. Give me what I need, darling. Give me what I want, baby. 'Cause I want you now.
Where it's like, you know what, I'm gonna actually just do everything by myself. Me and my producer Royal, we recorded the whole album in his house, and we was just like, you know, we just gonna do it and just see what the reaction is. Because if I say like I'm coming out with a mixtape, the first thing people ask you is, "Are you a rapper?" You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a mixtape.
Yeah, most time when you think of mixtape, you think of like hip hop artists, you know.
Exactly. And I'm not knocking, you know, maybe like later on down the line, like I'll do like a R&B mixtape or something like that. But in order for me to like officially be presented to people, I kind of want to just have the album on and be like, okay, well, yeah, now you got to listen to some original music from me first so you can get to know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can start like doing like covers and stuff like that. And I've always been the type of dude to just be different from just whatever the norm is going on, that's cool. But me, I'm just like kind of different. And also like, you know, I have an old soul. And the type of music I make, I call it grown man music because that's really what it's about. And I like to, my goal is to just kind of bring soul back. Because that's the type of music that I love and that's the type of music that I kind of grew up on. And that's, you know, that was like the whole goal is to have a soulful album with just a different approach and a different twist to it. And, you know, hopefully I accomplished that because, you know,
you definitely accomplished that. Definitely, yes, sir. You definitely accomplished that. It's like even when I guess singers come out with mixtapes or CDs, LPs, for the most part, it's more of a similar sound. But what you did was basically bring like soul music, and that's something that most artists that sing are more going towards the pop genre. It's kind of like R&B has been dead for a while. You know, soul music has been dead for a while. You know, and there's a lot of music that's out there that's claimed to be R&B and it's claimed to be soul when it's actually pop. You know, so it was just cool that even like with the work that I'm doing with the independent artists, majority of the artists that I'm working with is hip hop and pop. You know, it's not actual R&B. So when I found you, I was like, okay, I got to interview this guy because I was like, I was really, I was shocked to find that one, and also I was really impressed with your vocals. I was impressed with the entire arrangement of the tracks and the songs. I really like Something About You. That's like my favorite song off the EP. What inspired that song? Who produced that?
Well, it's funny. We actually, my producer had hit me up one day and was like, you know, you ever heard the song by Michael Jackson, Keep It in the Closet?
Yeah.
That we actually borrowed a little bit of that of that song and put it on there. And he was just like, the main, I guess the goal of it was just to kind of like borrow some of it, switch up the melody a little bit and just make it different. And one day I was actually in class and the melody came to me just out of nowhere, and I just recorded it in my phone and sent it to him, and we just constructed the beat like around the melody, and just that was one thing. And the second thing I wanted to do is that I wanted to start the album off with something that just immediately grabs your attention.
And that caught my attention because I was like, this reminded me of that song, this song. But it was really, I like how you smoothed out with the chorus and how it just comes together well, you know. It's kind of like you use that as to improvise, you know, and it came together really well. That's like one of my favorite songs on here. It's like 13 tracks on here, and I did not skip not through one. Like I listened to the entire tape in like in a whole hour or so. So it was just like, what is the response? Do you have a lot of fans out there that's like saying, hey, I just downloaded your CD, you inspired me? What is it like out there performing and everything else? Have you been touring?
Yeah, actually, I've been doing shows. I've been doing a lot of shows recently. Some places locally in New York City, Sugar Bar. I just performed at the Shrine a couple of days ago, actually on Monday. Barrafina, different places like that. I'm trying to go to. We're looking into like going to different cities and different states, so that people just to kind of build the awareness of the album. But overall, like the response has been great, and almost overwhelming because like there's people that are in other countries that bought the album. Like I've had some sales in Japan, some sales in London, some sales in Paris, and I'm just I'm overwhelmed with the response that people are actually digging the album. And every time I perform, when I sell a CD or whatever the case is, like people are hitting me up saying, "Yo, this is dope." Like they following me on Instagram and they're seeing how I'm moving. Like I think I proved a lot of people wrong.
Yeah.
Like I think number one, didn't think that I was going to drop the album when I said I was, which was on Valentine's Day. I think that like I got a couple of text messages from some friends of mine saying, "Yo, this is a really good album. You surprised me." I'm like, "Well, why would you be surprised?" And you're like, "Well, you run into people all the time that say they can sing, but you to actually be able to sing and have lyrical content that means something, and to put a dope album together as your first project, like that says a lot."
Yeah, that's something rare. That's something very rare, and like especially with the independent music artist scene, even mainstream, it's rare to find like a full length CD or a LP EP for you to be able to listen to, and it has actual lyrical content. It's not overly sexual, and it's not all. It's what I mean. You talk about love. You talk about commitment, drama. You talk about everything. And I like the versatility of it. A lot of the times when I review CDs and everything else, people just keep saying the same things, but with different beats behind them.
Right.
But with you're talking about love, but you're making it sound like it's a totally different subject. You talk about different levels and bases of love, like love, hate, the breakup, heartbreak, everything else, and you put it together in one EP, and it just, it's great.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And that was the motivation behind the album. Not just my true story or just about true stories. But the thing about it is, I had to make the album relatable to the common man, because that's basically what I am. And I can't talk about things that I haven't done. I can't talk about things that I can't do or not able to do. I got to talk about, what can I talk about? I can talk about the things that I've been through. And, some of the things I like, Two of Me is a true story. You know what I'm saying? And not just for myself, but for plenty of people, whether it's a man or a woman, where you may have like, one thing we used to say is that the good thing about being single is having options. The bad thing about being single is having options, because you can have so many options to where it's like you don't know what decision to make. But it's like, damn, maybe I can split myself into two and kind of, what I'm saying? And it doesn't only have to just be about love and relationships or a buddy or whatever. It could be about like work and school, or what I'm saying, or a career versus the job you need to do to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a number of ways you can flip it where it's like, damn, I kind of wish it was two. Or, and then just hoping like within that you make the right decision for yourself. Or, something about you, just talking about, like, it's not just about sex, it's about sensuality. It's about actually feeling for and wanting and needing a person. You know what I'm saying? On a deeper level than just sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just about, just, like I said, it's just really all in the approach. I can't talk about popping bottles. I can't talk about, my latest whip because I ain't got a car yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a college student that works full time that made an album, and I'm out here grinding. So that's what I gotta talk about. I gotta talk about the things that I experienced.
I gotta compliment you. Thank you. Honestly, that's been the best speech. No, seriously, because so many artists, I try to tell them that, when they make music that's realistic to them. And I know for a fact that when you're an indie artist, we're regular people with talents trying to get ahead, and I just want to find, that's why I decided to interview, because I wanted to find that someone that's talking about shit that's real, something that's real. And a lot of times I have people that, like, they don't have a car, but they're talking about their Benz, they don't have a job, but they're talking about, throwing ones and 20s and thousands in the air, strippers, and it's just like, this is not your reality. I can't relate to it. Also, it's even with me dealing with fan supporters, they always say to me, like, why, or they'll critique other artists that I present, and like, why is he talking about this? Because we know for a fact that's not what you have, or we know for a fact, so why can't you do something that's more relatable for the people? Because honestly, I view stuff, there's more people out here struggling, there's more people out here grinding than it is popping bottles and throwing thousands of money in the air. That's a fantasy world. Reality, you have to work hard for stuff. So, maybe once you get to that point, then you can sing about it. But what should come from the heart. We shouldn't just be making up stuff.
Absolutely. And I think another thing that's lost in music, especially R&B music, is vulnerability. I wanted to just shatter all of that. You know what I'm saying? Just bring it back to the essence of when you would listen to like Marvin Gaye or Curtis Mayfield, even Bob Marley. You know what I'm saying? Like, he toured the world, and all of his music was about love and standing up for yourself and doing the things that are necessary for the good of you and for the good of your people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I never want to lose touch. It doesn't matter how many albums I sell, how much money I make, I never want to lose touch with what's going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And one thing that's always going to go on in the world is love and making the right decisions and just trying to live your life the right way. Like, that's something that's never going to change. And unfortunately, what's never going to change is a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Because in order for you to figure out who you are and what you're going to become, you have to struggle. You have to go through the grind, as they say. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, like, I'm just a fan of dope shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love music that makes me feel something. So I wanted to be able to create a body of work that did the same exact thing that of the stuff that I grew up on and the stuff that I like to listen to.
Feel that way tonight. Said I think I'm in love again. Yeah. Now today must be my lucky day, baby. Somebody ordinary, like catching madness, yeah, baby, 'cause you are prototype, and I think I'm in love again, said I'm in love, oh, baby, said I think I'm in love.
and I totally agree. Like I said, this entire EP, I just wanted to make sure that we had an interview with you and talk to you and be able to put this video out just so people could hear your music, you know, just to hear the EP and say, hey, you know, I have to say that you have to be like one of the first interviews I did this year of an R&B artist, a soul artist on the independent scene, you know. And you're in New York City, you know, most of the artists that I interviewed, they're like hip hop and stuff. So I just felt like it would be perfect to have you as the first interview to present an R&B, you know, because it's different, it's diverse, and I'm definitely a fan now. What I wanted to do is ask you and let you tell the viewers and fans how they can connect with you and how they can buy your albums, how they can keep supporting, and also if you have any tour dates, you could tell them about that, your Twitter, your Facebook, anything like that.
All right, so pretty much everything's the same. You got Twitter, my Instagram, Facebook, Reverb Nation, YouTube channel. It's Variant. That's BARRYANTOINE. No space, no underscore, just straight Variant Antoine. You can find me anywhere. You keep up with me on my Reverb Nation, especially. Oh yeah, SoundCloud too, and my Twitter page, Instagram, and Facebook. You can get all the information on my upcoming shows. And I'll be doing, I think my next show is the 16th of May. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe the next show is the 16th of May. That's at Farafina, Harlem. And, you know, I'm just out here starting from the ground up. And, you know, hopefully, you know, well, my goal is to get this album out to the masses because I think people will share that same sentiment as you, that it's a really dope album. And it's just really relatable to the common person.
Definitely. And this is really relatable to the common person. Anybody that's in love, anybody that's in lust, anybody that's just even got a crush, whatever, can listen to this album. Or if you're just straight up R&B head and you're looking for something besides what's being played on BET, VH1 Soul, whatever, you should definitely check out his brand new EP right now. It's available on iTunes. It's available on iTunes. Available. Is it everywhere?
Available everywhere.
So it's available
everywhere digitally. Yeah.
So it's
Amazon, iTunes, CD Baby. Yup, that's the SoundCloud link right there. You can stream the album for free. Check it out, and if you want to buy it, the iTunes link is right there on the SoundCloud. Google Play, CD Baby. What else? Spotify, radio. I just found out we got. I believe I may be on Sirius Radio too. Somebody just told me that actually.
And then what else I can say is that what he's basically saying is no excuse why you can't have this album in your phone and your iPod, on your computer, just having it around you, period. I know sometimes people my package is kind of limp, I can't, but you can definitely listen to it on SoundCloud, and if you really love it, just buy it and support indie artists. The name of the album is The Art of the Heartbreak, okay? And of course I will have the links and information for you how to buy his new album. If you have any shout outs, anything you want to say to your fans before we wrap up our conversation?
Yeah, man. First off, I got to shout out Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who blessed me with the gift to not only be able to sing, but to be able to just write down and articulate what it is that I'm doing. I got to shout out my mom. Definitely, she's like my biggest supporter with anything that it is that I ever wanted to do in my life. My pops, my girlfriend, who's sitting right here. She don't want to be on camera right now. My producer, my brother, my friend, my confidant, Royal, salute to you for definitely working with me those late nights in the studio and just helping me craft and challenging me to craft the best body of work I possibly can. And basically all my family in Harlem, RIP to Grandma Lucy, I love you. That's pretty much it.
All right.
Shout out to you.
Thank you.
All my favorite supporters out there, anybody who's ever come to the show, or anybody who ever listened to the SoundCloud link, or bought a CD, or just passed the word on to a friend, like whatever. Like I appreciate all of that. And shout out to Deejaytakeover.com. I appreciate all the love and support, and thank you once again for the interview. That really means a lot.